Oke, terima kasih. Selamat pagi teman-teman semua. Selamat datang di Studium Generale. Kali ini perdana. Yang hari ini tanggal 16 Agustus 2025. Kita akan membahas terkait dengan AI, yakni AI untuk para pekerja dan pemimpin berikutnya. Sini sudah ter, di sini sudah hadir saudara kita Bapak Kris Pribadi dan Pak Ono Purbo yang telah hadir akan membawakan insight dan ilmu yang akan di-sharing untuk kita semua. Mungkin untuk yang pertama kali kita berikan kepada Pak Ono Widodo Purbo untuk keynote speech-nya untuk yang pertama kepada Prof dipersilakan. Silakan. Silakan Prof.
Terima kasih Yoga, terima kasih Bapak Kris Aryadi Pribadi, juga teman-teman semua, Pak Agung dan teman-teman yang lain. Oh, kok layar saya hilang? Oke, oke. Saya mungkin tidak akan terlalu banyak ngambil waktu karena sebetulnya special guest-nya adalah Pak Kris Ari Pribadi. Kami berdua, saya dan Pak Kris ini sebetulnya teman sekelas. Dari SD, SMP, SMA, Pramuka, kita beda regu tapi. Jadi kita bareng banget sampai akhirnya ke universitas. Pak Kris ini lanjut ke Amerika dan berkiprah di sana di bidang semiconductor dan sebagainya. Nanti mungkin Pak Kris bisa cerita sedikit aja. Cuman poin hari ini ternyata Pak Kris ini di sana juga selain di dunia semiconductor, IT juga ternyata juga bertaulah dunia AI dan sebagainya dan pernah membuat beberapa perusahaan termasuk berkiprah di perusahaan di Indonesia. Jadi Pak Kris ini punya gambaran besar dari sisi profesional, dari sisi keilmuan, dari sisi apa yang perlu kita siapkan kalau kita mau berkiprah di dunia profesional khususnya AI, IT dan sebagainya. Jadi terima kasih banyak nih Pak Kris yang sudah bersedia meluangkan waktu buat sharing di Indonesia ini. Cuma nanti buat teman-teman semua, Pak Kris ini akan mix pakai bahasa Indonesia dan bahasa Inggris. Beliau aslinya Indonesia, tapi kewarganegaranya setahu saya sekarang sudah Amerika. Jadi rezekinya dolar, kita masih rupiah. Jadi kita perlu belajar ke Pak Kris bagaimana supaya bisa dapat dolar juga. Baik, mungkin itu saja. Yang penting satu catatan sedikit aja. ITTS Institut Teknologi Tangerang Selatan akan melepaskan buku AI untuk SMP dan SMA insya Allah besok. Dan catatan yang lebih penting lagi, selamat ulang tahun pada Pak Kris Ari Pribadi yang ulang tahun beberapa hari yang lalu. Kita duduk sebangku, ulang tahunnya mirip, cuman dia orangnya lebih baik daripada Ono. Ono lebih ngaco sih. Terima kasih. Saya balikin ke Yoga. Silakan Yoga.
Ya, terima kasih Prof untuk sambutan ya. Mungkin selanjutnya langsung aja kita ke Pak Kris pribadi. Eh, kepada Pak Kris dipersilakan.
Nanti kalau ada
Yeah.
pertanyaan bisa lewat chat juga ya,
Ya,
gitu.
jika ada pertanyaan boleh silakan nanti langsung di via chat aja.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Is it clear? Okay.
very clear.
All right. All right. And you can hear my voice, yeah? And you can see
Yes,
me? Okay.
yes.
Pak Ono, it's a pleasure for me to work again with you. Uh, from our elementary school, we always mencontek each other. So we study together and play together. So I think it's great to again work with you and your team. It's my honor today to share. I hope you guys can follow me in English because sometimes my Indonesian especially when I'm doing presentation. It's a little bit belepotan. All right. So today we are going to talk about AI for the next generation of workers and leaders. And a little bit about myself. Pak Ono already introduced. I grew up in Indonesia, went to ITB just about 6 months, I think, and then I dropped out and went to continue in US. And until today, I'm a US citizen. Um, my field all over the place. I study physics, computer science, mathematics, electrical engineering, systems engineering, robotics, and my work has been in about 15 years in industrial automation, especially for semiconductor. Pak Ono described before, or the big Intel and other factories in US. And also, after that, I was more into the flight simulator, remote sensing, and that's where in 2012, around that time, I started to use machine learning. And in 2018, actually, I went to Indonesia to have a startup with a Japanese company there, Itochu, of an AI. That was before COVID, and COVID hit, everything slowed down. But I think at that time, AI is not mature yet for Indonesia. So I came back to US here, um, and continue with my AI interests as a hobby, as a profession. So here we are, right? So I'm gonna talk about a couple of things. There will be 5 items approximately. I will discuss about the history of AI. This is to give the foundational knowledge of what AI is, so you guys have a good understanding. And then I will talk about the algorithm of AI on how human knowledge is being encoded and decoded with ChatGPT. And we'll talk about today's AI, and then we'll talk about how do we want to prepare the next generation. And then if we have time, I'll go to number 5, but if not, then I can stop to number 4. Let's continue. I will talk about the foundation of AI. So today, AI exists in your life already, right? Especially in your pocket. All kind of it's being used by all these tech companies. Also in Indonesia, I'm sure Tokopedia, Traveloka, Gojek, they use AI for their processes. If you go to the airport, you get face recognition. That's also AI. So AI exists in many different forms. Initially, AI exists in image recognition, video recognition, but later on, lately, AI has been growing in the natural language processes. AI is having a big impact in the world. PwC, McKinsey, they predict that it will influence about 26% of global GDP, and 60% of today's job will will need some adaptation. When I say adaptation, it means it will change or it will be deleted. So current jobs will be impacted by AI. Um, but if you adopt AI early, then you can earn more. 40% of early adopters will earn more. That's a promise. So the questions, if you are a worker or student or leader in a company or in academia, you probably have a lot of questions about AI. I just want to guess your question. If you are workers, first question is, will AI take my job? Will AI replace me and I will be out of work? Maybe you will ask, like, what skills do I need to learn today? Or how can I use AI so that I can do my job easier, more effective, and better, and probably earn more money, right? And then what new jobs and opportunities will AI create for the workers? If you're leaders, then maybe your question is, where should we start in our business? What are business cases for AI? And how can I implement AI in our business or in the government or administration without huge capital or a team of PhDs? And then how do we prepare our workforce? Yeah, what happened to the people if we use AI? And what kind of risk are we talking about if we use AI? And how can we mitigate them? I may not be able to answer every single questions tonight, but this is just a starting point, and hopefully Pa Ono and I will continue and have follow up later on in the year. So the history of AI, starting in 1950 by a guy by the name of Alan Turing. His most famous accomplishment is to decode the Nazis' secret encryption that is used for the submarine at that time. And from that event, he invented the first computer, some mechanical computers that is designed to encrypt or decrypt the codes. And the Nazi didn't know that the Allied already know all the communications that's going on into the submarine. At that time, also Alan Turing coined the what they call it Turing test, which means can a person detect if you're talking to a computer or you're talking to a person. So that would be for him the true intelligence is if you do not know you're talking to a person or talking to a machine. In 1956, the term artificial intelligence was coined in Dartmouth workshop. That's in US. And then in the 60s to the 90s, it's also remembered as what we call the AI winter. Why? Because there's no progress for 30 years or thereabout in the AI. In fact, if you got a PhD in AI in the 80s, in the 90s, actually, I study AI in the 80s when I study here. But if your major is AI, you don't have a job because there's nothing going on in AI at that time. Now, with the in the 1990s, after the internet, uh, people start to collect a lot of data, and then it becomes what's known as the big data. And the question would be, how can I use this big data? How do we use it for? And that's when uh, the field of machine learning came about because they want to teach the machine to learn on how to recognize data. So in 2016, that's not long ago, right? About 10 years ago, 9 years ago, DeepMind's, that's a company in UK, but it got bought by Google, created AlphaGo, which is a game, a computer that can play game. Go is the game of Go is a very difficult game of chess that have the world champion from Korea, South Korea, and from China. The game is super complicated, much more than chess. That people at the time think that no computer can play the game. Now they proved wrong. AlphaGo defeated Lee Sedol, South Korean, and later on, AlphaGo defeated the champion from China. That is the first opening of what AI can do, and that probably the beginning of investment in China in AI because they saw a machine can defeat their champion. And the following year, 2017, a very important paper came. It's called Attention is All You Need. Uh, Sometimes we also say attention is all I need, right? But in this case, it's talking about an algorithm that can pay attention to the sentences in the language. Okay, so I will go through that paper a little bit later. And based on that paper, on 2017 paper, in 2022, just 3 years ago, begins uh, the era of AI, specifically the generative AI. Generative means it can generate content. Okay, whether it's image, video, text. And today, um, we are seeing a new evolution in AI. We call that agentic AI. I'll talk about that also later. This is a slide about all the different heroes. I'm just gonna briefly go through this. These are the people that, if you want to learn from, a couple of them have a Nobel Prize. Jeffrey Hinton, probably the most important person here, um, because he proved that an algorithm can be used to train the machine. It's called backpropagation algorithm. If you're interested in AI, you must learn about this. This is something that is very important. Um, I love Andrew Ng because he makes AI available for education, Coursera. Maybe some of you already took it. And of course, the last two, OpenAI and Attention is All You Need paper. Okay, how do we build AI? So I'm going to talk about the building blocks of AI. Again, this is the foundation of AI, right? You need four things to build AI. First one is people, real expert talents, PhDs, or just talented people, hackers, whatever you want to call that. But we need people. Secondly, we need to have a lot of data. Third, we need to have algorithms. We need to know how to create the program to learn. And then we need to have the computer, in this case, supercomputer, which is usually based on GPU. And today, I'm going to talk about the algorithms, the talents, the data, supercomputer. There will be probably some other time, but today I want to focus on algorithms. So the building block of AI is a cell, also known as neural network cell. Okay, on the left-hand side, you see the human cell. This is a very simplified, very simplified picture of a cell. Dendrites is the input. Soma is the computation part of the cell. Axon is the output. And synapse are the connectors to the next cell. So it's a network. Now we created a very simple, mathematically simple equation. On the left-hand side here, let me just, if you can see my mouse here, it's what we call linear algebra. If you all have taken linear algebra classes, it's basically summation, multiplication, and addition of matrix. Yeah. So you have to have a background in linear algebra at a minimum and in calculus. But the most important part is this function F. It's called activation function.
Waktu lalu ada banyak sekali musisi yang memilih untuk menggratiskan lagunya aja untuk diputar. Bahkan ada salah satu musisi yaitu Dr. Tompi yang diketahui memutuskan untuk musik Indonesia dan mengatakan kepada siapa.
Okay, thank you. So this activation function is very important because this is introducing a nonlinear function into the whole equation. Actually, this is what makes the whole thing can work to learn complex things. So how do we teach a cell, a neural cell, to learn about something? So this is, now we're talking about collecting cells. One dot is one cell, and then we organize them into what we call layers. 1, 2, 3, 4 layers in here. The first one is usually called the input layer, and the last one is called the output layer, the input and the output layers. And the one in the middle is also known as hidden layers. Okay. So what we do is the engineers will present thousands of pictures of cat and thousands of pictures of dog. And if we want to teach the brain to know what cat is, if it says output is cat, then say, oh, you got it. If the output is a person, that's wrong, right? So basically, we want it so that it learns cat by the way we teach it is by giving it the answers, and then it needs to learn to get the correct answers. And how do we do that? Is by doing what we call backpropagation by Jeffrey Hinton. So you guys need to learn about this. Backpropagation is a way to adjust the weight, or what we call the parameters of the network, W. Okay. So if you hear the term like how many parameters does ChatGPT have? They say 4 billion parameters, or 100 billion. Some of them. That means there are 100 billion W1 through W100 billion. And when you are training them, you are trying to adjust all this W in such a way that the error is minimized. Okay, the error is the difference between predicted and actual output and actual output. I'm not gonna go into the math of this, but you're welcome to look it up, backpropagation. Okay, so from that simple model, how do we now encode and decode human knowledge? How can today's GPT have human knowledge and can actually seems like it can talk in English, in Indonesian, in Sundanese, in different languages? So we need to learn the word GPT. G stands for generative, meaning it can create something. P stands for pre-train, and T stands for transformer. I think the most important concept in the word GPT that you need to know is the middle one, which is the letter P, pre-train. It means that the brain that you are using today is pre-trained at some point, maybe last year, maybe this year. But what that means is also the knowledge that it has is only as good as when is the last training is done on it, right? So it doesn't understand. If it's trained in 2024, it doesn't know about what happened in 2025. Okay, so this is a very important concept for you to understand, the pre-trained part. LLM stands for large language models. So this GPT is the algorithm to create the models. Models means it's something that mimics something else. In this case, the models is large language. It means that it has a lot of parameters, like I said, like 100 billion parameters, and it's trained by a lot of data. So how do we bake, if LLM a model is cookie or a cake, right? Let's just use that. Like, well, I want to bake an LLM. So what do we need? You need the ingredients. In this case, you have to have massive text, like trillion text, digital text. You need to prepare the text. In this case, it's called to make tokens from it and then to do embedding from it. I will explain that later, preparation. And then you need to bake it. Really, it's to train. Okay, this is the pre-training part, it's baking part. It's really just a prediction game. That's what it is. And then you get the cake. Then you can create a chat GPT. So massive text, where you get it from a library of digital library of everything that is known to man in the web. Tokens. What is tokens? Tokens is to break down the language into small components. In this case, it could be a word like in saya suka nasi goreng. Then there will be 4 tokens. Saya suka nasi goreng. There are 4 different words, right? Next, you do embedding. Embedding, also known as vectorization. It means every token will have a unique coordinate system. When we talk about coordinate systems, like in the Google Map, it's like that long. That's 2 numbers, right? If it's in 3 dimension, then it's like X, Y, Z, right? That's 3 dimension. In the case of tokens in AI, the number of the dimension is almost the same as the number of the parameters in a layer. So, for example, if the first layer has I don't know, 100 or 1,000 parameters, then it is a vector in a 1,000 dimension. So they don't call that vector anymore because vector is usually for 3 dimension. They call that tensor. So tensor is a vector in the multi-dimensional space. Then during the prediction game, it will train. For example, guess the next word from the sentence kucing itu sedang. Okay, if you say kucing itu um, sedang makan, maybe it's correct. Kucing itu sedang main, probably correct. But I think because I have a cat, usually the correct answer is kucing itu sedang tidur. Oh, cat likes to sleep. And then you can create a chat after that. For example, what is the capital of Indonesia? So what happened is the AI has learned how to complete a sentence, right? What we call predict the next token. So what is the capital of Indonesia? And then it predicts, oh, the next word should be the. After the should be capital. After that should be of. After that Indonesia. After that is. After that Jakarta. So you just keep trying to guess the next token. And if you have used GPT, it can write a whole book based on guessing what the next token should be. So what LLM is, or ChatGPT or Gemini, all of that, is a prediction engine that has learned the statistical relationship between words. It's less about intelligence, it's more about pattern recognition. So if you think that ChatGPT is smart, actually it's not that smart. It just learned from a lot of data on how to guess the next word would be. But that's kind of the amazing part. It actually works to represent human knowledge. Why? Because when you train it with the entire knowledge of any written language in the entire world, you have like 1 billion people teaching the AI on what to say, right? So you cannot compete with AI because AI learned from a billion people. You are just one person, but AI have learned, from all existing books in digital format or in the entire world. That's what it means by learning, and that's what I said, that it has encoded and it can decode human knowledge because it knows how to predict the next word. Kind of funny. So this is the paper. Attention is all you need, and you should, if you like math, you should read it. I myself haven't read the whole thing because it's quite complex, but in the end, this is the structure. So what happened is, when in technology, is you create an algorithm that's simple. Although this, I don't think it's simple, but something that can be repeated many times, and then you just kind of put a lot of money to repeat the same thing over and over again. That's the key of this, is being able to reproduce and rerun and the technology. So building an LLM, you need text, you need algorithm, which is the transformer. You need to pre-train it to build general knowledge, but that doesn't end there. You also need to have human to fine-tune it so that it's helpful, and then make sure that it doesn't do bad things, right? It needs to have alignment. So there's a lot of what we call guardrails, meaning even after you train it, we know garbage in, garbage out. We need to make sure it learns the good things, not the bad things, right? Bad things, we call it bias. But it is expensive. It costs like $250 million to $400 million, and it uses a lot of electricity. I don't know, Pak Ono, do you know how many houses can you you supply 50 gigawatt hour?
I don't know.
That's a lot of
A lot.
that's a lot of houses just to build one L model. And they have built a lot of models. This is a family tree, if you will. They evolve. They learn from one model and then they improve it. Every time they iterate, they improve it, So it's a big model. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit faster here. So I wanna have a question and answer session after this. So today's AI what can AI or when we talk AI, most of the time today we talk about large language model or GPT. But actually, there are many other AIs besides language model. There's AI for data. There's AI for genetic. For biology, biological engineering, for vision, for video. But we're just gonna talk about large language model, right? Large language model, like what you use now, it's most of the time you use it with what I call one shot. You ask question, it will answer it, like a Google search almost. Like you ask, "What about this?" Teach me how to make nasi goreng. And it'll give you answers, right? So you treat it as a search engine, basically. That's what most people do today. Probably 80% of us, I do that too. I use it as an answer machine, right? Ask question, it will answer. But what happened is it will answer something that it already learned. Like I said, it's kind of pre-trained. But what if you have a company and you never publish your documents? You got 1,000 files hidden somewhere that outside world doesn't know, and the AI will not know anything about it. So we use a technology called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. It means it will augment the prompt with a retrieve data, uh, a section of the data from your files, right? This is very very important for companies to run their business, so they can use the business information instead of just the web information, right? But the most exciting part to me is the last one, the agent, right? What is it? The agent, it has RAG, you can have that, but you can add tools, you can add reasoning, you can add memory, you can make it to do something. So now the agent is given what I call the arm and the leg, right? Not just it knows how to say something, but it can actually grab a tool and make something, right? Turn on a light or create spreadsheet or create PowerPoint or do search somewhere, do calculation, right? So that's the exciting part. So to me, if you guys ask me like, Pak Kris, what should I study if I'm an IT, I'm interested in learning I should say you should learn about AI agent, right? Because this is what is going on today. You make the AI to be useful. It's a cycle. Make the AI to be able to think, to act, to observe, and think and act and observe on and on and on. It becomes kind of like a robot, basically, right? It's called AI agent. And when you start creating several AI agents, we call it agentic AI, meaning you build a system consisting of AI
Sampai jam
agents, and you can put a human in
10,
the
jam
loop as
11.
well, right? So now you can have a manager, researcher, writer, publisher, you name it, right? You want to create a team of robots and people to work together to do production. So with that model, AI has transformed the workforce. Um, Anything that is
Udah sih.
repetitive, anything that it also create new roles now. There's new job in AI, but also require us, everybody, not just me, but everyone, to learn new things. You have to adapt and you have to gain new skill. Quickly here, examples of AI at work. If you are in HR, people resume, of course, now your resume is read by AI. And I know a lot of people write their resume with AI. And some people, they do interview with AI, right? Marketing and sales, finance and legal. So there's a lot of work that involves documents and text that can be done or helped by AI. Um, then you can use RAG to get your business information, to create decisions, to make decisions, to support you with the decision support. I'm not saying the AI make decisions for you, but AI can support you to make the decision. I talked about the AI agents. You can actually automate now the work, some works. And I think one of the most exciting part for me anyway is um, by the way, I'm not paying attention to the chats, so I'm just gonna go through, but maybe someone can help me ask the questions from the chat. Um, we will the most exciting part is the code generation and test. So I think I'm talking to a lot of IT people here, and I'm very happy with the ability of AI to help me write codes today. Okay, so continue on. What about the impact on jobs, losses, and growth? Right. I think about 30% of AI can automate jobs. Uh, that means 30% of the jobs will disappear if they can be automated by AI. 60% of the jobs will be altered, meaning AI can help change the way you do things and make it more productive. At this time, what I call the white collar job, which is knowledge workers and creatives workers, will gain big productivity boost from AI. AI is like in the past when robots can make cars. So the blue collar people, they create, they make things with the help of robots. But now the white collar people, the knowledge workers, get help from AI as well. So there is um, high risk job that can be replaced, and there's also opportunity. So the consequences of AI is some jobs will be displaced, but also there will be an opportunity for productivity growth. And between the two of them, I call skills gap, because when you are displaced, you need to upskill yourself. But if you have your job, you need to be able to learn to use AI so you can increase your productivity. In this case, I think I can say everybody in the entire world is learning about AI. Everybody is now just starting to learn about it, right? I think it's for sure this is new things, but we all have to learn about it. So now is the slide about how do we prepare the next generation. Um, maybe you are, I don't know, 20 something years old. But if you are the leader, then you're thinking, what do we do with the workers today, right? How do I prepare them? If you are teacher, how do I teach? Like Pa Ono said, they are going to have a book for AI. What do we teach the kids about AI, right? So before that, I want to give you a little bit picture of what is going on with the money that is flowing into AI. And I'm talking only about the US investment. Last year, they spent $109 billion in AI. This year, to date, they already spent like 150 billion or $185 billion. That's a lot of money. But what is even more crazy, they have announced major investment. I'm talking about not the entire US, I'm talking about just one project. They announced $500 billion Stargate. And then another crazy one, a Japanese project called Izanagi in Arizona. This is where I am now. They want to spend 1 trillion US dollars for one project in Arizona. I cannot imagine the amount of money that's going to change the world. And one company that stands to win all of that is a company called Nvidia. Probably if you like to play video games, you know Nvidia card. It's very good. Nvidia today, a couple of days ago, I checked the market capitalization, meaning the worth of the company in the market, is about $4 trillion or more than 4 trillion US dollars. It's the largest market capitalization in the world, basically, bigger than some countries, right? Okay, so with that, this is a background, right? Then I'm going to say to you, this is probably the bottom line of my lecture today. You don't want to compete with these people. Don't dream about, oh, we're gonna make chips in Indonesia, or we're gonna make our own model. Maybe you can make your model, but I don't think you can compete with OpenAI in making model. I think that's not our game. Unless you have $1 trillion, that's not your game, right? Anything less than, like I said, if you don't have $250 million, forget it. You cannot even build an AI model, large language model in this case. Maybe you can build a little model, maybe just for specific, like agriculture use, for like if the mango is ripe or not. You can build that, right? But to have what I call a general intelligence AI, let the big boys play that game. What I propose, instead of talking about data and the machines and all of that, the important question is not what AI can do, but what it cannot do, right? So I propose that we think about how we can leverage the investment of the world of AI by introducing what I call authentic intelligence. It's a play on word AI also, but I say it's an AI. So what is authentic intelligence, right? So now I'm give you a new definition of authentic intelligence. I'm sure most of you probably have guessed what that means. It's what us as a human being created for, right? We have a brain. God created our brain, and it can do critical thinking. It can solve problem. It can be creative. It can innovate something that's not there. It can create a new one. We have emotional intelligence, empathy, ethical reasoning, moral judgment, cultural, contextual understanding. These are the stuff that is very difficult for AI to do, right? So, so my what I say theory is, if you want to be in front of the AI game, you need to learn to become the master of the AI using your authentic intelligence. Then you want to learn how to master AI so you can become the boss of AI. If you don't, then AI will replace you. AI become your boss instead, right? So, but you want to be the boss of AI, right? You want to be the master of AI. So that will be the topic that I will challenge Pak Ono and the school in Indonesia is how can I learn more authentic intelligence, and how can I become skillful, become a master of AI, right? We don't have to worry about building AI ourselves because other people do that, right? We just want to use them, use the AI that's being built. You want to learn how to be a master of AI. And this is what I call a T model, which is the breadth on the top and then the depth in the middle. I'm going to go a little bit quicker here just for the time's sake. The T on the top is the foundation of AI literacy, and you have a strategist mindset. And then you want to go deep to become either an implementer or a builder, right? Uh, you can do both if you want. If you're a genius, you can do implement and build at the same time, which is good. But I think there's enough, room for you to specialize in either one. But you have to be good at it. The question is, if you are a worker today, if you are here listening to me, what do I need to learn? Okay, you need to learn about AI, literacy, the foundation of AI, non-negotiable. If you want to be a master of AI, you need to know its weaknesses, its strength, right? You need to know how to use it, right? You need to know how AI came to be. You don't have to build an AI, but you need to know the basics of that. And you have to have a strategist mindset. And then you have to have being able to implement AI for your need, for your company, for your boss, for your career, for your own business, right? So next step for you is daily think think with AI. Use ChatGPT every day for all kind of tasks, and then you identify if certain task is ready for AI to help you. Just in your job, maybe in your study. Can I learn about something using AI? Kind of question, right? And then you learn to master one of the feature of the AI in a tool. And you can take a low code, no code course, meaning you don't have to be developers. But if you want to be developers, then You should do that too, right? And then this is for the leaders, for the seniors, people with white hair like me. Again, the same thing. You have to learn the foundation. You have to have a strategist mindset, and you have to empower and manage the practitioners, right? Then you want to pick one project, just one. Pick one, launch it to say, this is my AI pilot project. And then you need to invest in people like Pak Ono already doing for training, and then create some simple guidelines. And then you work with your team, empower them and say, what's stopping you to master AI today? So, correction. I think it should be authentic intelligence and artificial intelligence, not either or, but both. So my conclusion is AI is very aggressive right now, being developed, being evolving toward AGI, artificial general intelligence. But we don't want to fight there. That's not our game. Our game is we want to leverage them. Okay, they're big investment. We want to use it, right? We don't have to invest $1 trillion. We just use the result. And then you need to have authentic intelligence, so you are not replaced by AI, and you need to master the AI and use it for your advantages. So I think this is my final slide. I turn it back to Pak Ono to continue. Thanks.
Terima kasih. Thank you very much, Pak Kris. A lot of questions here,
Okay.
but your talk is very inspiring.
Good.
One, I'm having difficulties to summarize the questions. There are so many questions, so
Oh my God.
I am dead. I
Pick
try.
one.
Okay, I'll try to pick one. One of them is from, I think, from Minahasa. Okay. This gentleman from Minahasa kayaknya orang apa tertarik AI tapi background tekniknya belum ini banget ya. Nih one of the questions. Kalau mau hasil output AI-nya akurat, so if you want to have an accurate output from the AI, kita harus pilih development tools yang punya dataset besar berarti ya, seperti Google dan sebagainya. Atau ada cara lain. Kalau kita harus pilih Google kan berarti kita tergantung pada we rely on the big investment. Bisa nggak kita pengen akurat tapi tidak harus invest besar? Kira-kira kayak gitulah kalimatnya. Ada komentar Pak Kris?
Yeah. So first of all, you must use one of the big LLM, right? Some of them is free, right? You know, Google like Gemini, they have the light version that's free. There's a fast version. There's many different size of LLM depending on what you need. Most of the time, you can just use the light version, which is free, right? But what you need to learn to make it accurate is you need to get what you want. Is you need to do prompt engineering, craft your prompts. You need to provide the context. You need to guide the conversation. It's like talking to a kid, like talking to a 6 years old. You have to be clear, right? Or else this little kid is gonna do their own thing. AI, the problem of AI is has hallucination problem, right? Um, in here, and so you have to ground the AI by your prompt. I think I'm gonna skip. I think we should have a little workshop on this later on. But
Thank you.
basically, garbage in, garbage out. You know, basically, if you ask stupid question, you get stupid answer. So before you ask question, you need to really think in your mind, what do you want to get out of it? Then you have to create the punching. You know, you have to create the proper expectation from AI. So AI is already very smart. It's like a PhD, right? But it needs to be guided by you, right? Like role playing. Like, oh, you have to make the AI to think that it's a teacher. Make AI think it's a expert in an artist, or expert in fishing. So you have to give it a lot of context, and you just need to work carefully with AI. it can tell something that's interesting, but you have to be smarter than it to say, oh, this is a good answer or this is a bad answer, right? Teach by example. I'm going really fast on this, but I think this we can do that some other time
Oh, yeah.
on the workshop.
Stop. Can you
So
show the one slide? It has both the bad and good prompt. I think you have one. Next. Oh, sorry. Back. This one. Okay. So in good prompt, the prompt is actually long. Is that right?
right, correct. Yeah, you the more accurate you want, the longer your prompt should be.
So that it means that let me paraphrase my questions. Is that means that we don't really need good AI or good model? What we really need is the good context or good prompt. Is that correct or wrong?
That's correct. Very, very correct. Because all models today is good. It's just a matter of how much you have money to, to pay. But you can just use light model, and it's
Oh,
almost free.
as long as the prompt is good enough complete enough, then we will get the correct answer. Is that right?
Exactly.
Uh,
100%.
okay. So the key is not in the machine. The key is our prompt, the human. Okay. The other questions. There is another question. This is from Pak Haikal Yusuf Azam. Di pasar kerja global, apakah kemampuan ML Ops, maksudnya machine learning sama operation dan optimisasi infrastruktur bisa menjadikan difference supaya tetap bisa bersaing. Bagaimana kita bisa belajar di area ini dengan biaya terbatas? Gitu Pak Ari.
Yeah. So when you talk about infrastructure, right, the biggest problem is you have to pay for the computer time. Um, so you can use Google; they'll give you, whatever prompt, and then after a while, then they will limit you, right? So you have two choices, right? One is you rent your GPU from cloud, or another one you buy yourself, right? I remember in 2018, Paono, I bought one NVIDIA server there. It cost like $100,000. One computer, only four cards, no, only four cards, and then we rent it to ITB, and then it like overheated, right? Um, just forget it if you think you want to build your own infrastructure by buying hardware. Unless you have, like I said, if you have $100 million to burn or $200 million to burn, go ahead. But the best way to do it is use what's already provided in the cloud, right? As far as ML ops, usually it means about optimizing the model, like how you fine tune it and all of that. Of course, you know that is the data science part where you can optimize them. But bottom line, to make things to work well, you have to do a lot of automation, right? You use
Okay.
containers, and then you use CI/CD. All of that has to happen,
So
and that's all provided by the Google, by the cloud. Yeah.
so actually the question from Pak Mas
Okay.
Haikal is about the skill.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Uh,
skill.
the skill for machine learning optimization infrastructure is do we need that skill to be able
Yes.
to compete?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you want to provide, if you want to work for a company that provides services with AI, then it's good for you to be an expert in making the answer more accurate,
Okay.
faster, right? You can do more work. Those are optimization
Okay.
and pipeline. Yeah, of absolutely critical skill to have.
Okay. The other question is how can he learn that area with limited budget? This is very Indonesian question.
The best way to learn is what I call on the job, or meaning you actually have um,
On the job
have
training?
something to on the job or a lab, right? You have
Oh,
the only way for you cannot learn something from reading book, right? You have to learn something in a project. So somebody has to give you a project, either it's a company or a lab or a school, say, hey, solve this problem, right? So you have to have something real that you have to uh, solve it. And it can be a simple problem, just say, build an app that has an AI in the background and see if you can make it work using iPhone or whatever, right, in the front end. But
oh,
then when you do a project, then you learn putting all the system together.
okay. Thank you. Next questions. Why transformer library? Sorry. This is from Pak Walid. Why
Mhm.
transformer library in Python is bad for tabularity for data table?
Yeah, large language model um, cannot process tables or
Oh,
structured data, right? Yeah, it can only process what I call unstructured data. You think about it like this. Okay, the problem with table is, remember I said that LLM is designed to predict the next token, right? A sentence or whatever. The problem with the table is you have to remember my cell is what column, what row. Right? So what happened is if the AI read all of that and then row number 50, right? Because it read in like CSV, right?
yeah.
Comma. See, it will forget what column I am in right now, right? It's probably better you convert that to the JSON format from
Oh,
CSV, convert to JSON, because the JSON you have to have like property name and attribute name and value, right? Then it's not, oh, you belong to that, right? So maybe it's better, but I think uh, in traditionally you cannot use AI to process big tables. Small table maybe, but not big tables. You have to think further. Like I said, JSON may be one way to do it, but there may be other tools to do it.
okay. So JSON may be better than CSV.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
Okay.
never compare it one on one. That's a good research project, Paolo. Tell
Okay.
somebody to say
Will do.
Excel spreadsheet. Can you process it using Excel, CSV, or using JSON? Which one can give you better result? That's a good project.
Okay, thank you. The next questions. Sorry, there are lots of questions for you actually. From
That's
Dede
fine.
Abdurrahman. If the decision from physical physician, doctor, okay, we need to wait to a long time. With AI, it will be very fast. Can this kind of case can be integrated as bioanalytics? I hope I catch the essence of the questions. So that's basically the question.
Um, yeah. So how AI is trained right now is trained by the knowledge out in the internet, right? Digital, like I said. But I think right now they're making it improvement for specific what I call critical information, especially about healthcare.
Hmm.
Have to be more accurate. I think they're aware about that. I think they're making stride. But in general, let me just say you can only, if I write a code with I know it can get maybe 75% of it, but I have to be a smart coder to know that AI make a mistake, right? But it can help me 75%. That's better, right? Before if I spend, 1 week, now I can do 1 day, you know, uh, finishing a code. If you're a doctor, it's the same. It's not 100%, right? You can get the answers close, but what did I say? The authentic intelligence still needs to be added to make sure it's correct, and
Oh, okay.
because it has to do with human life, so you cannot be
Play
AI
around with it.
can be AI can be what I call diagnosis support system, right? That can help. For example, AI probably can say from X-ray. quickly. Oh, you have cancer. Probably 75%, right? Or 30%, right? In fact, I just got an MRI today, and it says the AI says 30%. Which is then I go, oh, okay, good. But it cannot be never be 100%. But absolutely is better than waiting for 1 week from a doctor, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's not super accurate.
So we still need the doctor to fill the gap.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you do.
Okay.
You
But
need the
AI
yeah
will help a lot to make things
speed
faster,
up.
speed up. Yeah.
You faster,
Yeah.
speed up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next questions from Rizky Kurnia. What would be the best step to prepare for AI? Because so many jobs will use AI. What would be the best step we need to take to prepare for AI?
Yeah, I think I think I touched about that a little bit before. Um, for the worker, I guess I'm guessing the question from
Yeah,
you're a worker, right?
yeah. Because
So
because
so this is
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
this is the step. What I recommend, right? You have to have literacy, meaning if I say deep learning, do you know what that means? You said yeah. Back propagation, you know what that means? Yeah. Vector or tensor, do you know what that means? You have to say yes, right? If you you do not know that, you're just like regular people, right? You are
Uh,
you're not nothing special about you, that you know AI, but you have to understand the foundation, right? Take Coursera, Pa Andrew Ng, courses in deep learning. It's very good.
that means Risky do not have to learn the actual technology, the actual coding. Just need to learn the terms, the concept, and that kind of stuff. Is that
Correct. Yes.
okay?
Yeah, and then you can learn how to implement it. You don't need to learn the what. Just AI is a black box. Just think of it. AI is like a little brain, and you say, "Here's a brain that I can ask question." Now, the problem is not about making the brain. The problem is like, what kind of question do I want to ask this brain, and how is my app will ask that question and get the answers? That's the question. That's what you need to learn is how to
Oh,
implement the AI in your application, right? And
okay,
agentic AI is one thing. Don't worry about how to make the brain. Let somebody else do that. Just use it.
okay. Master it. Use it. Master it.
Master it.
Master the AI.
Become the
Okay.
boss. Become the
Become the
boss of the
boss.
AI. Or
Uh,
manager, I would say.
this okay. I th- I think this is the last question from Pak Wahyu Maulana. This is question for Dukun for witchcraft. Will future AI system possess consciousness and emotions like human?
That will be a while.
It will be
I
a
think.
while. Okay. With
Yeah.
so
We
many trillion billion investment, still a while.
still a while. And why I say that here, this is very simple. The answer to that is simple. Here, let me go back. The basic model of AI. Okay, sorry. I think I can get this. My AI is not working too well here. Oh, here we go. This is why you cannot do it because on the left is the real thing, on the right is the what AI today.
Oh, okay.
It's not the real thing. It's like ini Pak Ono,
Okay.
transistor, binary, one or zero. This one at least it's a floating point number zero between 0 and 1 instead of 1 to 0, but still it's not the real thing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Can we give applause to Pak Ari then? Thank you. You can show thumb ups or whatever. Okay. Thank you. Terima kasih Pak Ari. Oh, a lot of people
Okay,
give applause now. So
okay, I didn't see it. Okay,
it's on the screen. It's on the screen.
okay. Let me just end my sharing here so I can.
Okay. It's on
There
the
we go. There we
screen.
go.
Okay.
Oh, there's 70 questions. My God.
Yeah, lots of questions. Don't worry. I am
Okay.
becoming your eyes at this time. Oke, terima kasih banyak Pak
Okay.
Ari. This will
Okay.
be recorded and will be uploaded to
Okay.
YouTube. I will post the URL to your email and publish it in Twitter and so on. So I give back
Okay.
to Yoga to close
Yeah.
this session. Terima kasih
Yeah.
banyak Pak Ari. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yoga, please.
Oke, siap. Terima kasih kepada Pak Kris atas penyampaiannya yang luar biasa. Mungkin dari teman-teman tidak mengapa sebenarnya untuk kita mendengarkan sesi yang berbahasa Inggris, cuman kita sedikitlah belajar terkait terkait apa yang disampaikan. Soalnya dimanapun nanti bahasa-bahasa yang expert itu bakal disampaikan lebih jelas dan lebih clear itu dalam bahasa Inggris. Nah, mungkin ke depannya ya dari kita mungkin bisa belajar sedikit-sedikit dari untuk eh, apa yang sudah yang kita dapatkan hari ini. Mungkin mungkin ada Pak Agung Raisen, boleh mau bicara sedikit atau gimana?
Oh enggak.
Oh,
Kalau udah ditutup ya ya wis.
Yang
Tapi
penting
memang
absen, yang
saya
penting
saya
absen, absen, absen. URL absen.
ya, oke oke siap.
tapi
Ya,
sebetulnya saya punya pertanyaan pamungkas ini.
Oh ya,
ya,
monggo, monggo,
ya
monggo,
nggak apa-apa
monggo.
silakan silakan
Silakan.
silakan Pak Agung
I'm
ya.
very
In English, in
curious.
English, in English.
Yeah. I'm very curious about this AI gitu ya. Mr. Chris, I have question. Maybe Prof. Pono can answer too. How Indonesia could adopt about the global AI challenge? Which one more as local AI? Local AI is one service developed in local provider or local AI on premise.
What do you mean?
Begini, I mean Indonesia itu kan mau mengadop soal AI global
Oke.
gitu ya. Pilihannya mana yang lebih lokal? AI lokal yang lokal provider atau AI yang privat on premise gitu, gitu, Prof.
Provider means provided by company.
Ya.
And then satu lagi lokal di kantor.
Di perusahaan maksudnya.
Ya,
Perusahaan.
considernya lebih ke data sih begitu.
Oh, oke. Urusannya data ya, data privacy, data security dan sebagainya. Oke, Pak Kris, do you have any?
Ya, jadi you need to learn RAG, retrieval augmented generation. Yeah, RAG, RAG. Yeah, just look it up or ask AI about it. So what you need to do is you use the model that's built by Americans. Promoting American products. Use OpenAI. You use Gemini. Very good. You can use Grok. You can use Llama. From Meta. That's free. From Meta, Facebook. But then to make the local data available for AI, you use RAG system. So just look it up how to implement RAG, and I think that's a good project because it's very relevant for company. You don't want to publish your data you don't want to share your data with AI, right? You want to keep that in your on premise. But on the computing side, that's probably the tricky part. Where do you serve your model? So I think you should just use the server that's already provided by the services. Yeah, don't try to buy a server and make your own model to run there. I think that's a losing proposition. You burn a lot of money that way upfront, right? Upfront money. You better train the people, not burning it to buy like $1 million server, right?
Ya. Oke. Soalnya secara tidak sadar itu kan simple ya, tapi masif betul. Kita bertanya, bahkan teman curhat data kemana-mana.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
RAG, yeah, right, yeah.
So the keyword is RAG. Thank you. Terima kasih Pak Ari.
Right, yeah.
Oke. Jadi kita tutup beneran ya.
Iya.
Terima kasih Pak Agung atas pertanyaan pamungkasnya. Jadi karena sudah tidak ada pertanyaan lagi, kita tutup sesi kali ini. Terima kasih nanti kalau untuk